few days ago, I made a video talking about deaths in Tower of God, breaking down all of the major and even some minor deaths, whether or not Tower of God should have more deaths, if there's been enough, and it was an interesting video. I recommend checking it out. You can click the card here, because it's sort of a prequel to this video. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but basically, I'm going to be breaking down who I think could die in the Nest arc. So I'm just talking about the Nest here. If you're watching this video way in the future with more Tower of God chapters, first of all, I'm so jealous. Obviously, we're in the intermission right now with SIU not releasing chapters, so lots of theories about what's going to happen, but I want to talk about deaths and who could make sacrifices or die in the Nest arc. I've got 7 characters here, not in any particular order, but we're just gonna break down each one, how likely I think they could die or make a sacrifice, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so first up on the list that I have here is Doan and Cha, and I'm including both of these characters into one unit, because even though these characters were just introduced in Season 3, I do think that there is a possibility that one of them could die. Maybe both, but I don't think so. I'm thinking more maybe one of them sacrifices themselves for the other, or maybe one of them sacrifices themselves for Bomb. Now, if I had to pick which one was more likely, I'm gonna actually say Doan. And the reason I say that is because Doan has sort of been, not even sort of, has just been on the wrong side of everything leading up until these latest chapters where she's finally like, what am I doing, you know, and it's a really complicated situation. I know Doan's not the most popular character. Some people really don't like her because of her choices, but I think it makes her an interesting character. You know, I think it's kind of stupid that she made the choices that she did, but whatever, I do like Doan. And I think she could make up for that by sacrificing herself for Cha or for Bomb. It would be pretty brutal because it'd be devastating. We need Cha to step up his character, and I think he could if something happened to Doan. Now, at the same time, I think Cha could also die protecting Bomb. He's sort of like the bodyguard guy right now for Bomb. He's like Bomb's biggest fan, but on a serious level. And I don't want him to die though, because I feel like Cha has not done enough, even in contrast to Doan, you know? Cha has been touted as this like legendary warrior, and he's done like 2 things in the Nest. I want to see him do more. So I think one of them is going to die, but it could also be both. It could be neither, but that's the first unit that I thought of. Then there's Quattro. Now, you may think, okay, why talk about a regular during this massive war mostly between rankers? You know, you've got Kun in the midst of it and Bomb, of course, but it's mostly rankers. Now, the reason I think Quattro could die during the Nest is with the death of Chang, I could see Quattro doing some kind of maybe sacrifice, because let's be real, Quattro and Chang were buddies. They were a duo. You know, they went everywhere together, and now that Chang is dead, I feel like Quattro could do something drastic to sort of, I don't know, like I don't want to say he wants to die, but I could see him maybe doing something for the group, because Quattro's been helping, you know, he's helped out, his workshop battle and Helltrain and whatnot. I could see him, now that Chang is dead, wanting to do something in his memory or for the group and go out at the same time. You know, it'd be pretty sad. You know, I just think Quattro needs to do something in the Nest, and I feel like this could be that something. Now, I don't really want this to happen. I want Quattro to grow from Chang's death, but here's the other problem. I don't think SIU really cares all that much about Quattro anymore, let's be real. So I feel like this could be an excuse to sort of let Quattro go out in style, and then you don't have to worry about his character. But if it was a perfect world, I mean, you'd develop Quattro further, you know, as a character, but we'll see. Okay, then I have Hansung Yu. Now, you may have noticed if you watched the previous video, I've mentioned quite a few people on this list, but I didn't go into detail. Now, Hansung Yu is a character that has done so much throughout the story. He was the main antagonist in Season 1. He's a core member of Fug. He taught Bomb how to use a lot of, you know, Shinsu techniques, and he's the reason Bomb can basically use infinite Shinsu now, you know, the infinite loop or whatever. Hansung Yu has been there for a lot of the stuff that's gone down, and I don't really want him to go out. However, I think that it's possible that while Bomb rescues one of his mentors, another one of his mentors goes down. And I think this could be great character development for Bomb, because Hansung Yu, Bomb didn't like Hansung Yu, unlike Jinsung. However, I think that this could be growth because Bomb has maybe started to care for Hansung, and he never thought he would because Hansung threatened to kill all his friends at one point, and forced him into this situation, but I could see there being a dynamic there. Maybe as they're rescuing Jinsung, Hansung does this crazy battle and dies protecting Bomb, or something like that, proving that Hansung cares so much for what he believes in and changing the tower and everything. Maybe Evenkel could see it happen. I could see that happening. I think one of Bomb's mentors is going to die during all the chaos here, and I don't think it's going to be Evenkel because she already had a near-death experience, so I don't want Hansung to die, I don't want any of these characters to die, right? However, I do think that it could be impactful, and I could see there being a situation where something happens, so that's why I put him on the list. Okay, then we have Yasracha. Now, this is actually the only bad guy that I put on the list because a couple of bad guys have already bit the dust, like Dekoko and Elpathion, and I think quite a few of them will. However, I mostly want to talk about good guys because, I want there to be deaths on both sides, I want there to be casualties, But Yasracha is one that I still wanted to talk about because I've heard some people say that Yasracha is going to survive through the nest and be like a big bad guy for future arcs. I don't think so. I feel like this is the time that Yama needs to get revenge. They have a plan. They're gonna do something. I think Yama's gonna beat up, Yasracha. And I think the person that is going to survive past this arc is Liboric. Now, I could be totally wrong about that, but Liboric seems too important being, the personal sidekick or assistant to Adori. Adori recommended this guy, I feel like he's big braining something. I don't think he's gonna go down, but I could see Yasracha biting the dust. I don't have that much more proof other than the fact that I feel like Yama needs to get that payoff, he got his butt whooped by Yasracha, and the whole canine race was wiped out, they captured Jordan and, all them, and I feel like something needs to happen to Yasracha. Now, I could also see Yama just beating him up, and then Yasracha getting saved, possibly, but I do feel like Yasracha could die. I don't know, I just think it makes a lot of sense. I could see it going both ways, but if I had to choose, I think Yasracha dies, and Liboric lives. Okay, this next person is the one that I'm the most unsure about, and that's Mule Love. I think Love could die because Love is sort of like a mentor to Bomb, and if he died, I could see there being something happening there. Love is in kind of over his head as well because he's fighting rankers and creatures who are, kind of on a level above him, and I'm a little worried about how he's going to, stay on their level. Now, he's still a ranker, and he's taking him on, and it's pretty awesome, but if Love died, it would also be brutal because Love has nothing to do with all this. He's not from Fug, he's in it because of certain reasons, whatever. He's with Augustus, of course. But if Love died, it would just be very tragic. I think it would very, very much hit the readers. And if SIU wants to show deaths on both sides, this would be one that would be devastating. And it's not like Love is like a major character, but he was obviously at the start of season 2 and he's a fan favorite. So if he went out, I don't know, it kind of filled the role of Bomb's mentor to some extent. I keep saying that, he's not really Bomb's mentor, but he did help Bomb at the start of season 2 realize a couple things. He was sort of there for him, and I could see something happening with Love. Now, at the same time, I feel like this is the one that I don't see as well. This is the one that I could definitely see Love surviving through this arc, but at the same time, there's a small inkling that tells me it is possible that something happens to him. All right, and the last person that I have on my little list here is Jinsung Ha. Now, you could be saying, Joe, this whole operation is to go rescue Jinsung. What are you talking about? How could he die? It'd all be pointless. Yes, it could all be pointless. That's exactly why I think there's a high possibility, a strong possibility, that Jinsung could die, because this is Tower of God, man. This is war. You're doing all of this to rescue Jinsung, and maybe Jinsung jumps in front of an attack and dies to save Bomb, or something like that. Or someone, right as they get there to rescue Jinsung, someone stabs him in the back, Mashini or something, because frick Mashini. Something could happen to him, and I think it probably will, in fact, because I find it hard to imagine, although I can imagine it, I find it hard to imagine that they rescue Jinsung, he can't fight anymore, but he's still with the group, he's helping them out. I feel like something's gotta happen, and obviously Jinsung is Bomb's main mentor. So again, I think one of Bomb's mentors has to die, And the most likely one, in my opinion, is Jinsung, because it would drive home that this is freaking Tower of God, this is war, you know, not everything works out the way that it should, and this could mean a lot of development for Bomb. I think it could happen. I could also see it not happening, just like any of these deaths. It's really hard to predict these, but at the same time, I do think that Jinsung Ha's death is the most likely during the Nest arc. Now briefly, I'll mention a few people who are definitely not dying, at least in my opinion. Liboric, Yama, and Evenkel. Liboric, I already talked about him. Yama, it just doesn't make sense, you know? He's gotta beat Yasracha, he has to. Like, I will go crazy if he doesn't. Freaking Yama needs to just destroy Yasracha, okay? And if he dies, I don't know, man. Like, Yama is Season 3, at least in my opinion. He's a huge part of what makes Season 3 awesome, and if he died, I think a lot of that fire would go away. And then Evenkel, like I said, she already was close to death. I don't think she could die. It would just be kind of dumb, unless they handled it well. I just feel like there's so much more that needs to happen with Evenkel, with her past and having an ancient, you know, an ancient power, and like maybe Rack getting involved and all this stuff. I think Hansung is more likely to die than Evenkel. Evenkel, she already had her near-death experience. Like, you know, she is gonna survive no matter what, in my opinion. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have some more predictions, I'd really like to hear them in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious if I missed anybody. Maybe if you think someone is going to die, or if you don't think somebody's going to die, if you disagree with my opinion, then let me know in the comments. Also, subscribe for more daily content, mostly Tower of God, but we're gonna start branching out more and more. Patrons, you guys are incredible. If you want to support the channel, then definitely check out the Patreon down below. We can chit-chat about whatever, Tower of God or anything, if you support me there, and I'd really appreciate it. And with that, I'll see you guys in my next Tower of God discussion video. Take care.